Hi Rishabh, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you, sir?
Good, good. So can you tell me something about yourself?
Yeah, sure, sir. So first of all, I would like to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be here. And I come from Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. And about my academic background, I completed my BTech in computer science engineering back in 2019.
Hmm.
After that, for a few years, I prepared for civil services examinations, but because of some reasons, I couldn't go through. So I decided to switch back into IT, and then I started with software testing. I
Hmm.
prepared for it for a while, and then I got into one company which is based out of Pune. Now it's been a year
Hmm.
since I started working.
Okay, great. So can you tell me about a scenario where you have applied pairwise testing?
Uh, Sorry, can you please come again,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah. So can you describe a scenario or any kind of a user story that you would have tested in your career where you have applied pairwise testing?
Pairwise, actually, I'm not familiar with the term pairwise, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay,
I haven't come across it in this one
okay.
year of
No
my
worries.
working
So,
experience.
yeah, let me share my screen. I can help you.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get this kind of question, so pairwise testing is nothing but
Mhm.
it's a type of testing where you will be testing possible permutations and combinations with respect to the pairs that would be involved, right? So you can consider a form, you can give an example of a form wherein you will have multiple input fields such as name, email, phone number, address. Now, instead of testing all the possible combinations of these inputs, you can go for pairwise testing. You can test the combination of name and email. You can test the combination of name and phone number. And with less time you can effectively cover more testing, right? So that is the strategy, that is the type of pairwise testing in which you can have a more test case coverage in less time, right? So that is
Okay, so do you mean, sir, like if there are two fields on a login page, so
mm,
we have to uh, enter in both the fields together
so
simultaneously? We have to test them. That's what it means.
so yeah, so in case of login page, what would happen, you have both of them fields mandatory. If you will not enter the data or if you will not test, then you cannot proceed further. But let's consider a form where you have multiple fields are there and you cannot test each and everything. Okay, so when I tell you cannot test each and everything, so to which principle I am referring to?
Each and everything.
Yeah, let's say I'm telling, uh, so let's consider that you are telling your manager that I have a form with multiple fields, but it is not possible to test each and everything.
Each and everything, you mean to say
Mm.
the set of data that we are going
Right,
to
right,
enter?
right.
I think it's exhaustive testing, I believe.
Exhaustive testing is impossible. So that's a principle
Yeah.
of testing, right?
Yes, sir.
You are very correct. So it is not possible to test everything. It is not possible to test all the permutations and combinations
Combination.
pertaining to all the input fields. So what we
Yes.
can do is we can go for pairwise testing, in which we will do pair testing. We'll be testing the possible pairs of the input parameters which we can club, and we will test them in this manner. The number of test cases will get minimized and you would be able to get more testing, do more testing with less time, within less time,
Okay, sir.
right? So that is pairwise testing. Okay. What is accessibility testing?
Accessibility testing is like it should be accessible to people who like a wide range of users. Like if
Hmm.
somebody is not able to see properly, then that website uh, should be accessible to that those people as well. Like when they turn on screen readers, then screen readers should have the exact knowledge about what is written there, and they should get the exact knowledge about what is written there in the website. So,
Hmm.
like for the uh, visually impaired people, and for other people who are not, who are not like everybody else. So it should be
Hmm.
accessible to all. The bottom line is that it should be accessible to all.
Correct, correct. Okay. Can you tell me performance test scenarios for a water bottle?
Okay, performance test scenarios for a
Mhm.
water bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I can give it a try, sir, but in
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
I haven't done performance testing in this 1 year of my experience, but still I'll give it a go.
No worries, no worries. But you are
Okay, sir.
aware what is performance testing, right?
Yes, sir. Performance testing. Firstly, can I please tell you about performance testing in terms of the normal websites? Like how does it work in websites?
Correct, correct. You can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like there's a website. Suppose there is a social media platform like Facebook. Say Facebook is there. So
Mm,
what we'll do is we'll employ a large number of people who will use that application all at once. So simultaneous users will be increased. So then we will check. Then we'll get to know that how is it responding when a lot of users are using it at once. So that way we can judge the performance like when the stress and load is applied. So I
mm,
think stress testing and load testing are the sub parts of performance testing only.
right.
So that is performance testing in terms of web applications. But
Correct.
okay, you have asked me about the case of water
Mm,
bottle.
mm.
Okay, so can I take a few minutes, sir? A couple of
Yeah,
minutes?
yeah, sure, sure. You can take your time.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we can check for its durability, or
Mm,
maybe we can check for its like how fragile it is. If we drop the bottle down,
mm,
then how is
mm,
it performing in that particular situation? Like if we drop it down, if it is made out of plastic, then how is it responding to that situation? If it is
mm,
breaking, then it is fragile. And I think that because that does not have uh, dynamic use, I would say, because it is
mm,
an inanimate thing, and we cannot put all the labels of like performance on it, because it cannot perform, because it's not something that is active, that is dynamic, right?
mm,
So performance testing, the only scenario that I can think of right now is checking its fragility, like how fragile it is.
mm, mm, mm. Okay, okay. No worries.
Can you
So,
please tell me the answer, sir?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, sure. So I have list down few of the scenarios. Okay. So you were correct. The first would be the durability testing. So in
Okay.
that durability testing, what you would do is you will test the water bottle, how much it is durable uh, if it is falling from some particular height, right? Or if it has been dropped from your hand or various surfaces, right? So from various heights on various different surfaces. So let's say if it is falling on wood or if it is falling on some concrete surface, right? Then what is the impact on that water bottle? Is it getting fully broken or how much impact it is giving to that bottle, right? Then
Mhm.
you can go for compression testing. You will apply pressure to the water bottle from different angles, right? And you will see what is the response that you are getting. Then the cap of the water bottle, you will see whether it is proper. Then leakage level, so you will fill the water bottle with the water and leave it in different orientation, so maybe upside down, right, upright, and then you will check for leakages. You can shake the bottle and you can see. Then temperature related testing, so if you fill the liquid, a very something like a hot liquid or a cold liquid, and then you can see what is the resistance that is being offered by the bottle. Is it able to withstand in the extreme temperatures or not, right? Then the material that has been used in the water bottle making, that is proper or not. Is it proper with respect to various liquids that are available, right? The grip test, how much it is easy to use, right? Then capacity testing you will perform. Then accessibility testing, and lastly you will have recyclability test and biodegradability, right? So what would happen in these two things are very important, right? See, till now whatever scenarios that I told you, these were particular common scenarios, generic scenarios, right?
Yes.
But if you will cover these kind of scenarios also, so the interviewer will see that yes, you are able to think, you are able to analyze the situation, right?
Mhm.
When I say recyclability, so you will verify the water bottle is recyclable enough to use it again. And then you have biodegradability. So you will
Yeah.
evaluate the water bottles, whether it is been good for, or it is eligible for getting eco-friendliness or not, right?
Yeah.
So those kind of things, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are few of the scenarios. It is not mandatory that you remember all these scenarios in a real-time interview, but
Mhm.
yes, you can think on these particular lines and you can frame your answer in your own words.
Sure, sir.
Okay. What is the difference between use case and test case?
Use case and test case. I think use case has to do something with the use or the functionality of a particular uh, feature in a website. And
Hmm.
test cases are written out to check if that particular use case is
Hmm.
indeed doing what it is meant for.
Then,
Use cases. Okay, yeah, please.
mhm, that's it.
Uh, I think that's it, sir.
Okay, okay, yeah, correct. Okay, now what is test case studio?
I'm not able to hear you, sir. There was some issue with the network, I guess. Can you please repeat?
Yeah, yeah. What is test case studio?
Test case studio.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not aware of the term.
Okay, okay, no worries. So let me share my screen, right? So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, sir. I can.
So test case studio is actually a tool which makes the tester's life easy, you
Oh,
know.
yes.
So
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I think it slipped out of my mind, but
yeah,
recently, I think a couple of days back, I came across this. I think it
right,
records each and every step that is taken by the
correct.
tester. Like if we click on something, then it records it. Like what did you click? What button did you press? So all these things. Is it that, sir?
Right, right. Same, same. So Test Case Studio is nothing but it's a free browser recorder plugin. It will record your user actions that are performed on a web application in plain text English language with screenshots, right?
Yeah.
So it is simple to use, it is easy to use rather than going through the website and writing all those test cases manually. This tool is actually saving the time, and it has been innovated by none other than Sanjay Kumar, right? Who is also the owner, or I mean, who is also the founder of Selectors Hub and many other useful tools, right? So you can use it in various browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Opera, Brave, Chromium, Tor, right? You can also generate your test cases with screenshots directly using this tool,
Mhm.
right? So that is Test Case Studio. Okay. Now, how many test cases do you write every day?
Test cases, it depends on like what feature I'm working on. So
Hmm.
test cases also vary from feature to feature. It's not like there are fixed number of test cases for each and every feature.
Hmm.
So it's like when I get some easier or like which is easy to test some sort of that feature, then I can write up to like 40 to 50 test cases in a day. Again, that also depends on the like if I have got a feature like logging functionality. If I have to
Hmm.
test logging functionality, then I can complete that within a day because that is only about writing the username field, testing for the
Hmm.
username field, and testing for the password field. And also there might be some other little bit, tiny features which might vary across websites. But yes, it again, sir, it comes down to the complexity of the feature.
Okay. Yeah. So that is a good answer that you have given. It depends on the complexity of the feature, complexity of the functionality, whether how much time would you need to write the test cases or to perform testing as well. Okay, now let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, so this is an e-commerce website. Now you are supposed to test this particular functionality, download app. You can
Mhm.
download it from Google Play, you can download it from the App Store, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me your test estimation? How much time would you take to test this particular functionality? And which are the different testing activities that you would perform while testing this functionality? You can take
Okay.
your time, 1 or 2 minutes to first think, and then you can structure your answer. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm ready, sir.
Yeah. So you can tell the answer.
Yeah, so I think it will take at most 2 to 3 days. Okay, let's go for 3 days, sir. On the very first day, I'll go for all the test strategies, like what are the testing techniques that I'll be applying, and what are the like how will I be testing it? Suppose in case of this feature, uh, it is saying that get it on Google Play and App Store. So I have to check like which Android versions is it working on. So I have to test for all the different versions of Android and all the different iOS versions. So all those things have to be taken into account as well. And what are the types of testing that I need to do? Like in this case, this is a functional testing, obviously. So first day will be reserved for strategizing, and the other the later couple of days will be for testing the actual features, or the feature actually, this feature, like is it downloadable, and when once it is downloaded, like is it performing well, is it not, is it crashing, or is it stable? So all those things will be included, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's say you received the build on the first day, but the
Mhm.
functionality was not working, right? Then you
Mhm.
will log some of the defects. Again, you will receive the build on the second day. So you will perform retesting, you will perform regression testing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then on the third day, again, maybe last final round of testing, but still it is not completed. Then what would you do? Would you ask for more time, or would you sit late in the office and you will complete your work?
Like, sir, can you please rephrase the question, sir? I might have missed out on something, sir.
Okay. So now you mentioned no that you would be taking 2 to 3 days to test this particular functionality.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So first day when you were testing this functionality, it was not working at all, right?
Oh.
So you raised the defects, and 10-20% of test cases you were able to execute. So second day again you have to perform retesting and regression testing both, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Then still the story testing is not been completed. On the third day again you will receive some more fixes, and then further you will test. But third day is your last day, right? You have given the estimation of 3 days. So
3 days.
now what would you do? Would you sit late night in the office and you will complete your work, or what would be your approach to
I think
complete
that
the testing in 3 days?
if I have committed on something, then I will certainly sit till late in the night, because I have to complete it, because I have committed it. But yes, if certain things that are not testable, which are not under my control, that then I cannot do anything about them, then certainly I'll raise the bug. But yes, the features, the things that are testable, that I can control, I will certainly do those things, and I'll complete no matter how much time it takes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So if you know this kind of scenario based question they are asking in an interview, what you can do is, on the first day you did not receive the build with a good quality, you did not receive all the items that were mentioned in the acceptance criteria to be working. So
Yeah.
you will highlight these things in an email to the entire team, and keep that your QA manager as well as your QA lead in the loop, right? That it's a first day and you haven't received the things in the testing the as per the expectation. So now accordingly the time might increase,
Right.
right? So from the very first day you have to keep them informed.
Okay.
Second day, when you are doing regression testing, retesting, still you are facing some issues. So again, highlight those things in the sync up call, in the stand up call, right? You are having agile methodology. So in the stand up call, you should raise all these as an impediments. These are challenges, right?
Yeah.
Third day, you can inform them in the sync up call. See, today we have 60% of test cases still to be executed. This much amount of time I have. Is there anyone who can help me. Maybe someone from the development team can help you. Maybe someone who is a tester who is working in the another project, but he's not having some priority work, he can help you with your sprint stories, right? If you keep these things updated with your leads or managers, right? And then third day someone might help you. But if you will not tell them, if you will not keep them updated, then definitely you will have to sit late in the night in the
Sure.
office,
Yeah.
right? Okay, now tell me negative test scenarios for this functionality.
Negative.
Hmm.
What this one?
Yeah. So for download app functionality, you have to come up with the negative test scenarios, not the happy path, not the normal flow, the
Mhm.
negative, out of the box.
Okay. Can I take a few minutes, sir?
Yeah, you can take your time. No worries.
I think, sir, maybe I couldn't think of much, but what
Mm-hmm.
I could come up with is like suppose there's one thing here is which is download for Android and download for iOS. These are two separate things. One is for Google Play and one is for iStore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think uh, we'll try to access uh, the mockup, which the mockup module will get through Apple Store. If it is for Android, the Android version from Apple Store, that kind of negative thing, I guess. I'm sorry, sir, I cannot come up with
Mm-hmm.
a concrete answer.
No worries, no worries. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. You need to come up with the negative test scenarios for this particular functionality and put your answer in the comment section of the video.
Okay, sir.
Okay, great. Okay. So do you perform API testing?
No, sir, I haven't done API testing.
Okay. Wait.
I was involved in, sir, regression, functional,
Hmm.
retesting, and end-to-end testing, sir. These are the four testings that I have done so far in my short career.
Yeah. Can you please come again? Which testing type did you mention?
Functional,
Hmm.
regression, and end-to-end, like to test a complete flow. Actually, we worked on a e-commerce website for a premium fitness brand, a fitness equipment brand. So
Right.
we built their website from scratch. So
Okay.
it was the e-commerce domain, sir.
E-commerce website you are testing.
Yeah, sir.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, fine. Let me ask you a question on e-commerce. Okay. So consider a scenario where you are testing this e-commerce website. Okay. And one of the version is being completed. So let me just write this thing. Okay. So you have this e-commerce website, and in that website, you are actually testing the new feature, or you can say new user story for version 1.7.2. And
Okay.
this particular 1.7.1 is being released. Okay. Now, the moment you will find some defect in this version, how you will determine whether it's a regression defect or not?
In the newer version,
Yeah. So This version is already released of the website in the market.
Mm-hmm.
This in this version, you are testing one of the feature, or you can say a user story,
Yeah.
right? User story has been created in Jira, which you have been testing in
Mm-hmm.
version 1.7.2.
So yeah.
Okay. So now, if you will find any defect in this particular version, how you will
Mm-hmm.
determine whether it's a regression defect or not?
Uh, okay. So okay, I'll take an example. Like in the version 1.7.1, there was uh, there was that feature which was introduced in 1.7.2 was not present in 1.7.1, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And one new feature was introduced in the later version, in the newer version
Hmm.
1.7.2.
Hmm.
So I think firstly I'll check like if I'm checking the new feature, the
Hmm.
latest feature,
Hmm.
then I can easily detect it. Like if it has to do with something that was there in the previous version, if it is
Hmm.
dependent on any of the previous modules, then there might be a possibility like it could be a regression defect. But if it is completely unrelated to all the previous features, and if it is completely a new feature, then I think that has nothing to do with the regression thing, because that is completely a new feature, and there has to be some defect with the coding itself, or the
Hmm.
internal working, how the feature works.
Correct. Okay. Now you're absolutely correct. Now let's say you are testing in 1.7.2 version and you found a defect.
Mhm.
Okay. Now that feature in which you are testing, that is there in 1.7.1 as well.
Okay.
Now how you will determine whether that defect is a regression defect or it's a new defect?
I'll again check for it's the newer feature, not the newer feature actually. This feature was is present in both the versions, so
Hmm.
I'll check for its linkages with the newer features, the features that have been introduced latest uh, or lately. So I'll check for its linkages with them. If there are certain linkages, if they are related to each other, then there might be a possibility, sir. There might be a possibility that it could be a regression test. But at the end of the day, I think we need to look for the defect, right? That is my personal opinion, sir. I might be completely wrong, because I'm just a newbie, and you are an experienced person in this, sir.
No
So
worries, no worries. But you are thinking in the right direction. Yeah, please go
yeah,
ahead.
so at the end of the day, sir, we need to look for the mistakes. We need to look for the deviating behavior, right? The
Hmm.
behavior which is not helpful to the user, like which is not apt, which is not correct. So we need to look for it. Doesn't matter, I think, if it is a regression or a new defect. Defect is a defect. If we are able to find it, and if we are able to get it corrected from the
Hmm.
developer, and that's all I think testing is all about, I guess.
Right, right. So that is true. But let's say if the time is not there in the sprint or you are very close to the release, so the development team or your QA manager will not like to take any risk if it's a new defect. Okay.
Mhm.
But if it's a regression defect, then definitely it will have to get it fixed. Okay. Now, how
Okay.
will you determine whether it's a regression defect or not? So when you released 1.7.1, you will have a set of test cases from maybe you might have 500 test cases,
Mhm.
right? Those 500 test cases would be with respect to all modules. So some module might have 30 test cases, some module might have 50 test cases, some might have 25. So if you compile, if you generate the suit, it will be of 500 test cases.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, on a high level, we are thinking now. And now, if you are finding any defect in 1.7.2, so which test case has got failed, that you will see. If the test case is already a part of these 500 test cases which had got passed in the 1.7.1 version,
Mhm.
then it's a regression defect for you.
Regression defect, yeah.
But if it's a new test case that has been just written of in 1.7.2 version itself, the created
Yeah.
version is 1.7.2, then it's not a regression defect.
Then it's a new, because it's a, yeah, got it, sir.
Correct? Yeah,
Got it, yeah.
simple. So in a real time interview, they might ask you, why do you want to write test cases? Don't you think it's a waste of time? Then in this manner, you have to answer.
Like, will they ask me why do I need to write new test cases, sir?
No, no. When they are asking you, why do we need test cases?
Okay, why do
Then,
we need test cases in
yeah,
general?
yeah. The interviewer might confuse you. Don't you think writing test cases is a wastage of time?
Oh,
This
okay.
is
Then
one
I
of the
can connect
advantage.
these two together. Like
Yeah,
this will help in finding which one is the regression one and which is
regression.
the
And
newer
second
one.
thing is the evidence. You will have evidence that earlier it was passing, now it has got failed.
Yeah,
Otherwise, no one will be trusting you, right?
exactly.
What proof you have that earlier it was working, now it is not working? How will you determine it? The software is so big, there are so many functionalities, it's a
Yeah,
complex case, right?
yes,
So it is not easy to remember everything. That's why we have test cases, that's why we have documentation.
exactly, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Rishabh, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I'll ask for the feedback, sir.
Yeah. So actually, feedback is good. You are able to answer with a good communication skills, good presentation skills. You have got good experience. So even though it is 1 year, but still I would say it's a good experience. You were able to understand the questions and you were able to answer it. The good thing that I liked was that sometime when you are not knowing the question, you were
Mhm.
thinking and you were brainstorming it. So that's a good thing. Sometimes, the candidates just give up. So that's not a good thing in the interviews. Now you have to work on test scenarios, negative test scenarios. Let's consider the Misho application in which we
Mhm.
had negative test scenarios. Then the performance related test scenarios, right? These particular things you have to work on. Pairwise testing, right? No one would be asking you the questions on smoke testing or what is
Mhm.
regression testing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are not a fresher, you're an experienced. So they will ask you something differently. Okay, so be prepared and be prepared with API testing. Definitely, that is
Okay.
going to come. API testing interview questions would be asked to you.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, and I would like to mention one thing more, sir, that I have also scheduled one more call with you, which is
Okay.
on, I guess, 7th of April.
7th of April. Okay.
Yeah,
So that is also manual itself.
yeah, that is for the manual itself.
Okay. Okay. Any specific interview questions or job description related things that you are looking? So please share that with us at rdautomationlearning@gmail.com. And
Mhm.
accordingly, we'll prepare the questionnaire.
Okay.
Okay.
And sir, one more thing, sir. Don't put it online.